this. You see that? It's like a garbage truck, but in the back of a. You know, there's a really strong smell of onions right now. I don't. You smell them? So most of these vlogs are shot on a Sony A7S3, and you may or may not know, but I'm a pretty big fan of Sony. We have Sony and we have Canon, but for video, I love Sony. And because of that, I get a lot of questions asking if the Sony FX30 compares or is worth the significant discount compared to the A7S3. Somebody left this open. I'm not gonna go in there. What do you want? Thank you. When you look up on Amazon, the Sony A7S3, that comes in at $3,500. If you want the FX3, which is basically the cinema line version of the Sony A7, that's another $500. It's gonna come in at $4,000 just for the body. But the FX30 comes in at $1,600. That is a significant price decrease. For the price you're paying versus the features that you're not, I think it's a pretty, it's not a bad deal, because in cameras you get more out of your dollar when you spend your money on expensive lenses or expensive glass versus like an expensive camera body that gives you a bunch of features that you may or may not use. FX30 is an APS-C crop sensor, $1,600. It's not a bad camera, even if it's APS-C, which it's not bad. While I was talking to you, Savannah I parked Savannah on that bench right there. And for a camera that can do pretty much everything that this camera can do for so much less, honestly, looking back, if I had to do it over again and I was just getting my first camera, that would be one that I would seriously consider. It's a good camera and it's so cheap too. I mean, comparatively to if you're looking for your first video camera, I would recommend checking that out, or just anything from Sony. You can't really go wrong. I'll put a link down below if you want to check it out or not. Yeah. We next Wednesday marks the start of like a 2-month traveling like marathon. So because of that, we're trying to get a lot of work done right now this week so that we don't have. But it's not my favorite, if I'm being completely honest. Excited about the next couple of months, but I just have to push through. Right? You can't hear me. I don't know how I did this, but for some reason I thought I was shooting one wedding this weekend, but I'm shooting two. How do you miss that? It's also November 16th, currently 73 degrees outside. This is the first time I've been on my electric skateboard since I had an incident of like 2 weeks ago. Feels great. Building right there. That right there is a jail. There was one time I was running like at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was still dark out. There was a sheriff's bus that they used to transport inmates, and it came out of that hangar right there with a bunch of armed guards. You know, most of my time is spent or taken up by editing on a computer. It's either video editing or photo editing. Today, mostly photo editing, with a little bit of video editing being this vlog. And I like to consider myself a pretty fast or quick, efficient editor, but me being fast, quick, and efficient doesn't negate the fact that I just absolutely hate editing. I appreciate it and I see the importance of it, but I just favorite things about this park, which if you're ever in Nashville, Bicentennial Park, this park, I highly recommend checking out. One of my favorite parts is all of these trees that line this whole walkway. And then if you get it at the right time, the sun peeks through the trees. It's beautiful. And they have these little Roman things. I don't understand why they're there. It's beautiful. Tour bus.